Once upon a time, right on the edge of the forest, lived a golden-haired girl. This golden yellow-haired girl's name was Goldilocks. She had such amazing and admirable locks that everyone who saw her was mesmerized. But despite her sweetness, at times she could be a rather naughty little girl. Every time she stepped out to play, her mother would have to warn her to behave. "Darling, please stay in the backyard and don't go into the woods." Deep into the forest in a shack lived a bear family. A broad-shouldered papa bear, a medium-sized mama bear, and a baby bear. Mama bear always woke up early to prepare oatmeal porridge for breakfast. One morning, baby bear woke up earlier than usual and wanted to eat his porridge. But it was too hot.
"Mama, can we go out for a walk in the woods until our porridge cools down?"
Mama, Papa and Baby Bear left their porridges on the table and went out for a walk. The same morning, Goldilocks was playing in the backyard while waiting for her mum to prepare breakfast. But she was so bored of playing in the same yard all the time, and she was very curious about the deep parts of the forest.
What would happen if I just went for a walk?
She looked around, seeing that no one was around. She began running into the forest. When she got tired, she stopped and looked around.
What a beautiful forest! Flowers, trees. Why didn't I come here before?
She began to walk deeper into the forest. In the meantime, walking around with his family, the baby bear saw a beehive on the branch of a tree.
Such a big beehive! I'm sure it is full of honey. Papa, can we eat some honey?
No, my boy, that belongs to the bees. It's their home.
We can't go in anybody's home and eat their food. It's not right.
You're right. I think I will have to wait until we go home for my breakfast.
Meanwhile, Goldilocks walked all by herself for such a long time. Finally, she got lost. She tried to turn back but could not make out the right way. She got really tired and hungry. She was almost in tears of her tiredness. She walked a little more, and finally she came to the end of the road. And she came across the house of the bear family in between the trees. She quietly approached the house, walked around it, but she could not see anyone. She knocked on the door, but nobody answered. Then she looked through the window. She saw 3 hot steamy plates on the table. She went back to the door again, and this time she knocked hard. The door opened. Goldilocks was overjoyed. She looked in and yelled, "Anybody home?" When there was no answer, she entered. She approached the table. On the table there were 3 bowls of porridge, 1 big, 1 medium-sized, and 1 small. Because she was so hungry, she wanted to eat the big one first. But the moment she put the spoon in her mouth, her mouth burned, because the porridge was still too hot. She immediately reached the medium bowl, but she did not want to eat this either, because it was too cold.
It's too cold!
Finally, she dipped her spoon into the smallest one.
This porridge is neither cold nor too hot. It's exactly the way I want it.
So she ate all the porridge in the smallest bowl. When she was done with her breakfast and felt full, she wanted to sit on one of the 3 chairs in front of the chimney to rest for a while. One of the 3 chairs was a big one, the other one medium, and the last one was a small one. First she tried to sit on the big one, but she couldn't even climb on it. She tried the medium one, but this one was very hard. It was very uncomfortable. Finally, she sat down on the smallest one. This one was very comfortable and exactly her size. But suddenly, the chair broke into pieces with a very loud noise. Goldilocks found herself on the floor and she did not know what to do. She walked through to the next door, and here there were 3 beds. A big, a medium-sized, and a small one. First she tried the big bed. This one was too big for her and also too hard. Second one was a little bigger than her size, but also too soft. So she lied down on the third and smallest bed. This one was exactly her size, and it was very comfortable, so comfortable that Goldilocks fell asleep right away. Whilst Goldilocks was sleeping, the bear family came back home. Papa Bear had some wood with him that he collected for the chimney. Mama Bear had fresh berries, and Baby Bear just could not wait to have his porridge. When they arrived home, they went straight to the table. Papa Bear had a look at his bowl and was so angry.
Somebody tasted my porridge.
Mama Bear also looked at her bowl.
Somebody also tasted my porridge.
And when Baby Bear looked at his bowl, he began to cry.
That somebody also tasted my oatmeal porridge. Not only tasted it, also ate it all.
They got up and started to look around. Papa Bear noticed his chair in front of the chimney.
Somebody sat on my chair. Look, it's on a different spot.
And then it was Mama Bear's turn to complain.
Somebody also sat on my chair.
And just like before, the baby bear began to cry again.
Somebody also sat on my chair, but broke it too.
The bear family curiously went to the bedroom.
Somebody lied on my bed. Look how it's undone.
Somebody lied on mine too.
Somebody lied on my bed too, then is still sleeping in it.
Papa Bear walked next to Baby Bear's bed and saw that someone really was sleeping in his bed. Slowly lifted up the blankets, and they were really surprised to see a little girl sleeping in the bed.
What is a little girl doing in our house?
Tell this little girl to get out of my bed now.
Waking up to Baby Bear's crying, Goldilocks saw 3 bears in front of her and she ran out of the room in great fear. She went out of the house and started running without looking back. She got breathless from running, but she did not stop. And she didn't even know which way to go. Right at that moment, she saw her parents coming across from the forest. When she didn't end up going back home, they went out looking for her. Goldilocks was very happy to see her parents. She ran and hugged her mother.
Oh, Mummy!
We were so worried. Are you okay?
From now on, I will always listen to you. I will never leave without letting you know.
Goldilocks hugged her parents really tight. From that day on, as she promised, she always listened to her parents and did nothing without having their permission. She was a well-behaved and kind girl forever.
Goldilocks and the Panda Family. Once upon a time, there was a small house in the most beautiful part of the forest. And in that house lived a girl with blonde curls named Goldilocks. Goldilocks was so cute that everyone loved her so much. But this cute girl could be very naughty sometimes.
One, 2, 3. No!
Goldilocks accidentally knocked over the pie her mother prepared for her.
Goldilocks, now you'll have to wait a little longer for breakfast, 'cause I have to cook a new one. And by the way, do not go out of the garden and don't go to the forest without telling me. Be a good girl now, you hear?
Goldilocks was so bored while waiting for breakfast.
One quiet step towards the forest. I wonder how far I can get before anyone notices I'm gone.
While her mother was busy in the kitchen, Goldilocks took one step after another out of the garden and into the forest. In the depths of that forest was a very cute bamboo house. A cute and sweet panda family was living in this house. There was a huge father panda, a medium-sized mother panda, and a tiny little baby panda. The mother panda would get up in the morning before everyone else and prepare a bamboo mash with vanilla for breakfast. Father panda woke up to the sweet smells coming from the kitchen. Then he went to wake up his baby. However, the baby panda, who loves sleeping so much, could not wake up. But he could not resist the wonderful smell of mash on his nose and finally woke up. The panda family were together around the table. They started to eat the bamboo mash the mother panda has prepared. But the mash was very hot.
Mommy, Daddy, how about we wander around in the woods while we wait for our food to cool down?
And we can collect some more bamboo and prepare food for the evening. The panda family left their meals on the table and went out to collect bamboo. Meanwhile, colorful butterflies surrounded Goldilocks, who frolicked this way and that in the forest.
How beautiful this forest is! Look at these butterflies!
Goldilocks continued to go deeper and deeper into the forest while trying to follow one of the butterflies. And finally got lost among the huge trees. As time passed, she was both tired and very hungry. She was almost about to cry. But she suddenly saw a bamboo house a little further ahead. She approached the house with joy and looked through the window. She saw 3 bowls of food inside. She went excitedly to the door and knocked on it 3 times. The door wasn't locked, and it opened when she knocked, and Goldilocks was so hungry.
Hey! Is there anyone here?
And there sat the bamboo mash in 1 large bowl, 1 medium bowl, and 1 small bowl. Since she was very hungry, she wanted to eat the bamboo mash in the biggest bowl. But when she wanted to taste it and put it in her mouth just burned.
Oh! This dish is too hot.
So she tasted the mash in the medium bowl.
And this dish is too cold. Yuck!
Then she took a spoonful of bamboo mash from the small plate.
This dish is neither too hot nor too cold. Just right for me.
Goldilocks ate all the mash in the smallest bowl. She wanted to go and sit by the fireplace to get some rest. Here, too, she saw 3 different seats. She tried the big wooden seat first.
This seat is very hard and hot because it is so close to the fireplace.
She then sat down in the medium-sized pink seat.
This seat is too soft.
This time, Goldilocks sat on the little red seat right next to her.
Oh, this is very comfortable.
But just then, the tiny seat broke into pieces.
Oh no! Maybe I'd better go and lie in bed for a while.
Goldilocks entered the bedroom of the bamboo house. There were 3 beds, 1 large, 1 medium, and 1 small. Goldilocks first lay down on the largest bed.
This bed is so hard, and the pillow is so huge.
So she jumped onto the medium-sized bed, but it was too soft. Then she jumped onto the smallest bed.
Oh, this bed is great. Let's sleep well.
Goldilocks fell asleep in the smallest bed. The bear family, who did not understand how time passed while collecting bamboo in the forest, finally returned home. As soon as they arrived, everyone wanted to sit and have breakfast. But a surprise was waiting for them at the table.
Someone has tasted my bamboo mash.
Someone has tasted my bamboo mash, too.
Bamboo mash. It's all gone. Oh.
The panda family stood up and started looking around. The seats next to the fireplace took their attention.
Somebody has sat in my favorite chair.
Someone has sat in my seat, too.
Somebody sat in my chair too and broke it.
The panda family went to the bedroom with curiosity.
Someone has slept in my bed and pushed my pillow to the floor.
Someone has jumped on my bed.
Mom! Daddy! Someone is lying in my bed right now.
Mother Panda and Father Panda did indeed see someone sleeping in the bed of their baby. When Father Panda lifted up the cover, Goldilocks woke up immediately. When she saw 3 huge pandas in front of her, she was very scared.
Who are you? Why are you sleeping in my bed? Well, I apologize for breaking into your house. I had lost my way in the forest and went in and ate some food. Then I fell asleep. Please don't be angry with me.
It's not nice to break into other people's homes, little girl. Besides, your family must be very worried about you. Let's take you home. The panda family knew every road in the forest very well. So, they found Goldilocks' house in no time.
Mommy, baby, my dear girl, we've been looking for you everywhere. We've been plumb worried. I promise I will never leave the garden without telling you.
Goldilocks' parents thanked the panda family for bringing their baby home. Since then, Goldilocks and baby panda became very close friends. And now, Goldilocks always asks permission from her mother to visit the panda family, and she does so often. So she's never been lost in the forest since then, because her closest friend, the baby panda, was always with her.
On a nice summer day,
Goldilocks had an idea. Since she never liked to read books, she built a tall tower by stacking the books in the house on top of each other. She jumped over the tower and started having fun. Seeing this, her mother immediately warned Goldilocks. Books are for reading, Goldilocks. Playing with them, you can damage them.
Ugh, but books are so boring. It's better to play games with them.
At that time, Goldilocks noticed another book almost falling out of the window.
Where did this book come from?
Just as Goldilocks was about to touch the book suddenly took wings and flew towards the forest. Goldilocks was so curious that she followed the book.
Hey, wait! Flying book, stop! Where did you go?
In the depths of the forest where Goldilocks was running, there was a white hut. A cute goat family was living in this hut. And the hut was full of books. Sometimes even neighboring animals were going and borrowing books from the goat family. The father goat wasn't sleeping before finishing his carpentry books. The mother goat's cookbook was always with her. And the baby goat was loving colorful fairy tale books.
That's great! Now I can make a rocking chair for myself.
So clover soup should only take 8 minutes to cook. But that day, the baby goat was very upset because she could not find her favorite book.
I can't find my book anywhere. I want my winged book.
Maybe your book went for a little stroll in the forest, my little goat. The goat family started to look for the lost winged book on the forest path. At that time, Goldilocks was very worried because she lost her way in the forest.
How am I going to get home now? I can't find the book either.
Then the winged book appeared right behind her like a butterfly. Just when Goldilocks was about to catch it, the book flew towards the goat family's hut. Goldilocks came running to the door of the hut and knocked on the door. The door opened slowly.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Goldilocks saw hundreds of yellow, pink, thin, and thick books. She started searching around to find where the winged book was hiding.
This is a big, thick carpentry book. It must be so boring.
Goldilocks found other books in every corner of the house, but none of them interested her as much as the winged book.
And that's a cookbook. The vegetable dishes are not for me.
Unable to find the book she was looking for, Goldilocks finally got very tired. When she curled up in a corner to fall asleep, the winged book was placed under her head like a pillow. The goat family, who could not find the baby goat's book anywhere in the forest, eventually returned to their hut. But when they entered the hut, they saw that all the books were scattered.
Huh? Someone threw my carpentry book into the fireplace!
Someone threw my cookbook into the pot.
Someone found my winged book. Not only did she find it, she made it into a pillow and slept on it.
When the baby goat cried, the mother and the father goat came to her immediately. They were very surprised to see Goldilocks sleeping in a corner.
Who is this person? Why did she scatter our books?
Look at those wrinkled pages.
Goldilocks woke up when she heard the baby goat crying.
Oh, you! I'm Goldilocks. Well...
Calm down, little girl. We won't hurt you.
I was just looking for this flying winged book. Sorry for breaking into your home. That book in your hand is my book. I won't give it to anyone. Aw, but for the first time, I really wanted to read a book.
The baby goat was very stubborn, but she was very surprised when she met someone like her who saw this mysterious book take wings.
Huh. No child has ever seen this book fly before. So it seems like the mystery book chose you. So keep it. It is my present for you.
Goldilocks was on top of the world with happiness. She immediately began to read the first sentences of the winged book. At that moment, all the books in the house took off and took their place in the library.
Are the other books in the house magic too? Books don't have magic, Goldilocks. But our imagination, which has grown thanks to books, has a wonderful magic.
It's getting dark, Goldilocks. Let's take you home. Your mom must have been worried about you.
But we haven't read the other books yet.
No one can read that many books in one day. Now you can come to us to read books whenever you want.
The goat family took Goldilocks to the garden of her family's house and said goodbye to her. Goldilocks quickly passed her mother, lay down on the floor, and immediately started reading her mysterious book. Goldilocks, where have you been all these hours?
I was chasing a flying book, Mommy.
Do the books ever fly?
Yes, they don't really fly, but anything can happen in our dreams.
From that day on, the baby goat and Goldilocks became book friends. Sometimes they lent each other books. Sometimes they met to read a book together and had a dream. Thus, these two friends realized that the mystery of the books can be discovered by dreaming. And one day, our dreams in the books will come true.
That morning, Goldilocks was very, very excited. Because she was going to ride the bike her mother bought her as a gift for the first time.
Be careful, girl. Don't go too far.
When Goldilocks got on her bike, she first wobbled a little, then started pedaling like she was flying. She was riding her bike so fast that when she slowed down for a moment and looked around, she realized that she was in a place she had never known.
Huh? Where am I? This is a part of the forest I've never been to before.
As Goldilocks realized that she had moved away from home, she was a little alarmed and decided to return. While she was riding her bike at full speed, she heard a pop, and she was thrown to one side and her bike to the other side of the road.
Ow! My leg hurts! Oh!
Goldilocks was weeping, both because she got lost and because her tire had burst. But Goldilocks wasn't the only one crying. She straightened up to see who was crying in the forest besides herself. She dragged her bike with her and walked towards where the noise came from. Not far away, she saw a little pig sobbing.
Piggy?
Huh? What? Whoa! Who are you?
Don't be afraid. I'm Goldilocks. Why are you crying, little piggy?
My skateboard! I lost my skateboard!
Hush, don't cry. Look, my bike's tire burst too. I cried a lot, but that didn't help me fix my wheel.
When little pig Gurky saw the flat tire, he forgot about his skateboard and calmed down a bit.
What a beautiful bike this is!
It is beautiful, but I've lost my way home too. I have to be back before evening.
The little pig forgot about his skateboard for a while when he felt sorry for Goldilocks. He told her that he knew every path in the forest very well and would help her. And maybe he could find his skateboard while walking. So Goldilocks and Gurky set off. However, after a while, a giant wolf appeared in front of them.
It's Wolf!
Aw, don't be afraid, Piggy. Maybe he's lost something too. Hello, Wolf.
The wolf walked slowly towards them, hungrily.
Yes, I lost my food. But I think I found it now. I wonder, which one of you should I stomach first?
Realizing the wolf's malice, Goldilocks was terrified, but stepped forward to protect the little pig.
At this time, hunters roam the forest and hunt wolves. They'll catch you before you can harm us.
The wolf took 2 steps back when he heard what Goldilocks had said.
Hunters? Oh, I'm so scared!
The wolf jumped on them with a quick move. The little pig managed to get away and escape. However, Goldilocks was trapped in the wolf's claws.
Ah! Help! Help me! The wolf caught me!
The wolf ran to his lair with Goldilocks in his arms.
First I'll eat you up, then I'll go back and I'll catch that piggy!
Although Gurky went after the wolf, he lost track of the wolf because he wasn't fast enough. Then he went back to his house to ask his brothers for help. On the other hand, the greedy wolf had already tied Goldilocks to the stone in his lair.
All right, little girl, you wait here. I'll go catch the piggy too and have a nice feast tonight.
As the wolf was about to come out of his lair, Goldilocks spotted the skateboard in the corner of the cave.
Huh? This skateboard is Pig Gurky's skateboard. So it was you who stole it!
The wolf was very angry with Goldilocks, who called him a thief. He took the skateboard, got on it, and had fun riding it left and right.
This is my skateboard now! I'm even going to scratch my name on it with my claws now!
Meanwhile, the little pig Gurky and his brothers finally arrived near the lair. But since the wolf was so busy with skateboarding, he did not notice them. Gurky quietly approached Goldilocks.
Hey, Piggy! Did you come to save me?
Yeah, be quiet, Goldilocks.
Gurky quickly untied Goldilocks. Wolf turned around with the skateboard in his arms and made eye contact with Goldilocks and Gurky.
What? Is the piggy stealing my food?
My skateboard! This is my skateboard! Here, in the hands of the wolf!
The wolf threw the skateboard aside to jump on Goldilocks and the little pig. And while he was running towards them, Gurky's brother came in. They threw the small thorny chestnuts in their pockets towards the wolf. When the chestnuts stung at his feet, the wolf stumbled and fell to the ground.
Ow! What are these? They hurt me! Come here, pigs. Now I'll catch you!
However, this did not deter him, and he got up again. He was about to jump on the pig brothers with the thorny chestnuts clinging to him when Gurky grabbed the skateboard and quickly escaped from the cave, taking Goldilocks and his brothers behind him.
We made it!
Hey!
Hooray!
The greedy wolf stared at the retreating pigs and Goldilocks.
Phew.
The wolf realized too late that stealing things that don't belong to him is a bad thing. When they got rid of the wolf and arrived at the pig's house, a surprise was waiting for Goldilocks.
Come on, take the cover off.
When Goldilocks lifted the cover, she saw her bike, which had already been repaired. And she was very happy.
Oh, you fixed my wheel! Thank you, piggies!
Gurky got on his skateboard, and Goldilocks got on her bike, and they headed home. From that day on, the little piggy and Goldilocks' friendship lasted a lifetime.
I wish my hair was long like yours. Rapunzel's one and only fan, Goldilocks, closed her eyes and fell asleep at midnight, as usual. However, a forest fairy who made children's dreams come true entered through the window she left open. Before she noticed, the forest fairy had cast her spell and left. When Goldilocks opened her eyes, she found herself in a completely different room. As she looked around in surprise, she came face to face with Rapunzel. Uh-oh, what are you doing here? Wait a minute. I'm not asleep right now, and I'm actually in Rapunzel's room? What? Rapunzel! While Goldilocks was hugging Rapunzel, whom she admired, and looking at her hair with joy, the voice of the witch Camilla was heard.
Rapunzel! Let down your golden hair, I'm here.
Rapunzel hurriedly said, Oh no, the witch shouldn't see you. Be quiet. And hid Goldilocks under the table. She let her hair down through the tower's window. As the witch climbed Rapunzel's hair and entered the room, Goldilocks thought in amazement, Wow, just like in fairy tales. And meanwhile, Camilla knew something was going on as soon as she entered the room.
I smell something. Tell me, is there a stranger in this room?
Oh no, it must be the smell of the new potions you bought for your spells.
Of course,
said the witch, and immediately left the room to deal with her new spells. Rapunzel immediately took Goldilocks from under the table and told her that she had to go back to her own world or the witch would imprison her here too. But how can I get back home?
With stardust. We have to find it first.
Rapunzel silently let her hair down from the tower. And Goldilocks climbed down by holding onto the hair without the witch seeing her. A little later, a tired turtle appeared in front of them.
Hi there, dear turtle. We are looking for some stardust. Do you know where we can find it?
The turtle said, There are nightingales on the top of the tree by the river. Stardust is right under that nightingale's nest. Rapunzel and Goldilocks came running to the riverside. They were about to climb the nightingale's nest when the nightingales suddenly shouted, The witch is coming! The witch is coming! Run away! And they both flew away. Rapunzel hid Goldilocks behind the tree, and she jumped into the river and dived to the bottom of the water, even though the witch looked over with her sharp and scary eyes around.
Where did Rapunzel go?
She passed by and left. Unable to hold her breath any longer, Rapunzel surfaced. She waved her hair over the top of the tree and took a handful of stardust from under the nightingale's nest. Goldilocks was once again amazed by Rapunzel's courage. Rapunzel, I wish you would come with me and get your freedom.
I can't go with with you, Goldilocks, but I'm so glad you consider me an inspiring companion. I really hope we cross again.
Rapunzel blew stardust onto Goldilocks. While all around was shining brightly, Goldilocks opened her eyes in her soft bed. So it was all a dream. But it's okay. Thank you, Rapunzel, for showing me that kindness, courage, and helpfulness are more important than beauty.
Once upon a time, there was a brave boy, and this young boy lived alone in a jungle. And the name of this brave jungle boy was Mowgli. One day, as Mowgli was walking deep into the forest, there was a golden glow that caught his eye. When he bent down and picked it up, he saw that it was a dusty map that was probably very old.
Oh, this looks like a treasure map. Oh my goodness.
And so then Mowgli started to follow the path it drew because he wanted to go and find the treasure. On the other hand, Goldilocks was wandering around her garden picking flowers she wanted to make a crown from. While she was happily running from pink flowers to red ones, a tiny butterfly started flying around her. However, at some point she realized that while picking flowers, she had gone very deep into the jungle and had lost her way. She got worried, so she sat down on a rock and started crying. At that moment, the jungle boy Mowgli appeared and went to her. Mowgli was very curious.
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
He asked her.
I was going to make a crown out of flowers. But then suddenly I got lost.
Mowgli told Goldilocks that she should calm down a bit.
I grew up in the jungle, so I know my way around it very well. I will gladly take you home,
he said. Goldilocks was very surprised that Mowgli had grown up in the jungle. She saw his hand.
So then, what are you carrying?
She asked him. The jungle boy said that this was a mysterious treasure map and that he could help her if she wanted him to. Goldilocks accepted Mowgli's offer with excitement, and they started to follow the map together. As they walked through the forest, they found their way blocked by a very deep river. Mowgli fashioned a bridge from tree branches and made sure that Goldilocks got over safely. After a short while, they reached the entrance of a cave. At this entrance, there were strange symbols that had been carved into the stone. Mowgli examined the map carefully and spent some time trying to figure out what the symbols meant.
These symbols must be telling us something. Come on, let's go inside.
When they entered the cave, they held on tightly to each other so that they would not lose their way. As they were going deeper, Goldilocks suddenly felt the stones moving under her feet, and it made her unsteady. Mowgli grabbed Goldilocks and pulled her away, and then the ground opened up, and a rope tied itself around his ankle and pulled him up, so he was hanging upside down.
No! Goldilocks! I'm trapped here!
Goldilocks carefully examined the rope and followed it to its source. She decided she needed to look for a way to stop the wheels. Goldilocks took a large stone and hit the wood with all her strength. And then when it broke, the cog stopped turning, and Mowgli slowly came down to the ground.
I did it, Mowgli! I really did it! You are incredible, Goldilocks! You were really awesome, you know?
After that, they carried on going into the cave. Finally, they reached the treasure room that was hidden deep in the cave. And that was when they stumbled into an old chest. When they opened the chest, instead of finding a pile of gold coins, they found 2 bracelets that were linked together. Mowgli untied the bracelets and gave one to his new friend.
Oh, look! My one has friendship on it! And the one I have here says trust.
The 2 new friends overcame the difficult test in the cave with unity and solidarity and found the real treasure. After putting on the bracelets, Mowgli kept his promise. And then he took Goldilocks back home to her house. Their friendship, which started by them agreeing to cooperate, lasted forever, thanks to friendship and thanks to trust.